Okay, people, it's been a week, and this is the part 2 of the anatomy study. And before I show you the drawings, I wanted to share this one. I bought a webcam, a 2K quality webcam, because my plan was to record with a better video quality for this YouTube channel, and that's why I bought this. Then I tested it out, and it turns out that my phone camera is still better than this. So there's this one, and well, back to the drawing part. So it's been a week of me continuing anatomy, and as I've said in the last video, the next one would be the hands, right? So I'll show you the hands. The hands. Here it is, the hands. So it's the same with the feet drawing. What I did with this is, well, I drew this, I used a reference, I drew this, mirrored it, then drew another one. And what happened is that this one is more well proportioned than this one, the one with the labeled parts. So that's why you can see there's some difference between the two. And I practiced some hands along with it. And moving on, you guys already know what's the next one. It's the skull. And labeling the parts, the different parts, I really like that one after finishing the drawing, the detailed drawings, and I drew a face. The thing with this face is that I was planning on only drawing the eyes, the nose, and the lips, like the basics, well, the basic facial features. I wasn't even planning on adding hair to the drawing, but then I added, and it became prettier. Then I added more details, then it became more prettier. The drawing became more prettier. Then I added some shadows. She looks pretty. And I drew a side view here, and a side view face here. Now this is for the skull. The next one would be the collarbone. The collarbone. And there's some back view of the skull here. And this is really tricky for me, the collarbone, because I'm trying to determine how long the collarbones are depending on the angle you're looking at. If you look at it at different angles, the direction of the line differs. So I tried it with the female torso, and I think I got the breast part here a little too high, like really close to the collarbone. This one is more well proportioned, the male torso, because I searched C-Bum, Chris Bumstead, to determine the muscles here. And moving on, there's more, because the thing is, the more parts I learned, the more I incorporated to the drawing. Then I realized there's more parts that I don't know about. So moving on, I decided to learn the neck, to learn the muscles in the neck. Because when I was searching for, well, collarbone references, the neck has muscles in it that I didn't know about. Now the next one is the scapula. When I was looking for references, I came across some back pictures, and I realized about the back is that in here, for example. Like when drawing the back, the muscles are being pushed by this bone, the scapula. There's a highlight here, there's two highlights here that shows the scapula for both sides. And that's what I didn't focus here on the back drawing, so I focused more on the muscles here. So I decided to draw a really rough sketch of the back here to show the scapula pushing the skin and the muscles in here. So there's the outline in there. and I tried drawing a standing pose. It's still really challenging to draw one, and I tried drawing a pose. Now moving on, I use some references. Now the next drawings are decent. I use some references for this ones. I'm happy with this too. Because they're well proportioned, these two. Now what I learned about these two is that there's some struggle with me with the elbows. Like really with the elbows. So I decided to learn the elbows. Here. So instead of muscles, this time the bones in the arms. See? And this part here, it's foreshortened. And moving on, after the elbows, I decided to learn this part here. This little protruding part here. It is connected to this bone right here, the pelvis. I drew more detailed pelvic bone. So as you can see, this is that part, the knee part, this one, and this is the back view. The knee part, and the next one would be the knees. This for male, female, and what I'm trying to do is trying to determine the shape of the knees because it's really challenging, and I think I got it in here because it's hard to get some references for a knee that is connected to the pelvis. No, not on. Or the whole leg structure that's connected to the pelvis. It's challenging to find a reference for that. Then I realized there are underwear models out there, and those models out there, thank you for the knees. I needed the knees, like the knees. I needed this specific part. So there's that. Now moving on, I decided to learn some feet because if we look at the previous anatomy drawing, what I did with the knees is that I draw a very simplified version of what I did with the feet. If you look at my previous anatomy video is that I drew a simplified feet in there. I didn't include the toes, so I decided to draw more feet in here. Now, for the last and next drawing. This is the last drawing. And this is tricky. Especially the legs. The legs. It's very tricky. I had to pose for this one. I was looking at myself in the mirror for this one to see how the legs would bend. Overall, I really like this one. Because now I can connect the two, and it's much more simple. And unlike the previous drawing, this is from the previous week where I didn't draw, let's say, the feet properly because I drew the hands in here. What I did is, I decided to draw the feet now, and the feet drawings that I showed you before, it really helped here so that I can properly determine the shape of the feet now. And this is what I got for you guys, this anatomy week part 2, because there's going to be more anatomy, but that's not for next week or for me this week. So for now, I'm going to do a different theme this week, so anatomy part 3 will have to wait for now, and I'm satisfied with this. I think they're much better than this too here, so there's an improvement, and it's becoming more natural for me to draw bodies now without relying on the shapes, because I didn't really started with shapes with this one. I started with the legs with the woman, then with the man I started with the torso. So there's that, and the knees too. I like how the knees is constructed like that, and there's some post between the two. Then my signature, because that's what I do with my drawings. with the 7 drawings. And with the face too, I didn't use the circle guidelines for the face. I drew it directly. Well, the anatomy helped, really. So this is it for this anatomy study. And I read the comments, guys. Thank you for commenting on the videos. And thank you for watching this video, guys. See you in the next video. See you next week. Subscribe. And as always, Striker logging out.